This morning I was off to North Carolina, some 6 hours away, to check out something I had found and tentatively promised to buy on Facebook Marketplace. Ever since my time back at Mopar Muscle Magazine, I had a bit of a sweet spot for the 1969 through 1971 Chrysler 300s. Their long lines and wraparound bumpers reminded me of something like a big brother to the 70 Charger, and man, I just wanted to have one ever since then. Unfortunately, finding one in decent condition and within my paltry budget has been an all but impossible task, but what I found instead was a surprisingly complete 1970 Plymouth Fury 3 convertible. Listed by a longtime friend of the original owner who had passed away just a little over a year ago, the Fury was in surprisingly complete condition. Sure, there was some rust in the usual places for a convertible, mainly before and after the rear wheel wells and some pinholes in the floors, but otherwise it was super solid. The original owner was a local fire chief and used the Plymouth as his fire command vehicle. No, really! The Fury was wired for a giant buggy whip antenna and had a mount for a CB two-way comm box just under the dashboard. The best part was just behind the grille, a legit fire truck siren mounted on the hood brace. The car had been listed on Marketplace for a few months, and the seller kept begrudgingly lowering the price. I found it listed for $4,000, but took a shot in the dark and offered a low-ball $2,500. He replied, "If you come and get it this week, it's yours for $2,500 cash." So, here I am. The odometer read 32,145 miles, but I'm wondering if that's more like 132,000 miles instead. But again, maybe not, given how complete the car is. The seller told me the owner had parked the Fury in 1991 in an old tobacco barn and it hadn't moved since then. 3 of the 4 dry-rotted white walls held enough air to push it close to the ramps. Having to winch the giant C-body up the trailer with a come-along was a heck of a job, and enough to finally convince me to buy an electric winch and fabricate a mounting plate for it. Because of the quickly flattening tires and just how low the C-body sat on its springs, the straps holding down the Fury required retightening at nearly every stop we made. And seeing that we were leaving North Carolina back home to Tennessee, we made a quick stop by Dave Chamberlain at All Classics Restoration. Dave's been chipping away at our 1970 Dodge Superbee project Zombie, which has been no easy job. Zombie is easily the most rotted out car I've ever owned, and Dave's been hacking away and patching as much metal as he can. Thankfully, Auto Metal Direct has been a huge help in providing us whatever they can to make Zombie a car again. Floorboards, a firewall, trunk pan, trunk extensions, you name it. One of the biggest hurdles has been the quarter panels. Since the 1970 Coronet is a unique year, nobody makes a replacement quarter panel, so AMD hooked us up with a pair of 1969 quarters that Dave is slowly grafting onto the 70. This means he's having to cut around the scallops in the rear taillight housing, saving what unique to 1970 parts there are and using the rest from the 1969 panels. Equally, we paired up with US Car Tool and scored one of their Stage 3 chassis stiffening kits. We'll be adding all the braces, torque boxes, and subframe connectors once all the stock steel is back together. Dave also finished welding in the USCT mini tub kit and outer wheel housings that allow us to run some serious meat in the back, so that's pretty exciting too. Dave's been posting updates on Zombie on his YouTube channel, and we've been publishing some of those on the magazine, so definitely check those updates out if you haven't already. This is going to be a really cool car when it's done. Anyways, after the 6-hour drive home, I lowered the Fury off the trailer and good friend, neighbor, and fellow Mopar lover Jim Hannon swung by to help push it off into its spot on the driveway. In thinking about a name for this project car, we realized that this Fury is almost identical to the same 1970 Plymouth Fury 3 convertible that TV patriarch Mike Brady drove for 2 years on the Brady Bunch. Both this Fury and Mike's were painted in EB3 ice blue metallic with 2-tone blue bench seats, a white convertible top, and blacked out dish hubcaps. With this in mind, Jim and I jokingly named her Project Marcia and set about seeing if we could get Marcia to come back to life, if only for a minute or two.
Oh, here we go. There we go. Come on. And
I can kind of see through.
It's not the worst.
Is that jet black?
No.
It's not like tar, so
No.
This is a good sign.
Yeah, that, I mean, I checked the dipstick earlier,
Yeah.
and it wasn't milky. Oh, that's rust in my ear.
Oh, I love that feeling.
Holy cow. Well, the reality is that this car has been really well kept over the, gosh, 1991 was the last time it ran, so, I mean, that's 22 or 21 years. The oil was not bad. The transmission fluid is cherry red. ATF is, or excuse me, the coolant, bright green. I mean, we can pour a little bit more in there, but we're gonna, we poured some Marvel Mystery Oil down every one of the cylinders, and I cranked it with the breaker bar. It was a little tight at first, but after, what, 3 or 4 turns, boy, it spun over really nice.
Made it happen.
The new battery, we hit the starter and it spun. I mean, the starter spun, didn't grind, didn't do anything weird. So we're like, okay, what the heck? We'll put spark plugs in it and see if it fires. I'm gonna disconnect the fuel pump. We're gonna have to feed it we're gonna get a length of fuel hose and put it into a little 5-gallon can and have it drink out of the 5-gallon can.
Bottle fit.
And just bottle feed the engine for a little bit and see what it does. But yeah, we'll put those on. Oh, you're already gapping the rest of them. Okay. I'm sitting there standing with one and he's doing them all.
It's all good, dude. I gotta be useful for something here.
No, you're doing great. You're doing fantastic. So we got all the rats and squirrel nest stuff out of here as best as we can. I didn't want to hose it off yet. Just wanted to see what worked. But we know we got headlights. We didn't check turn signals and we didn't check brake lights, but that's something we can do easy.
It's down the road. That's
yeah.
nice.
But we want to see what the condition the engine's in, and if the engine fires, you know, I'll put a new fuel filter on it and we'll let it run off the gas can. Really, I think we're just going down the checklist of what a car needs. Needs fuel, air, and spark, and we're gonna find out if it's got spark, and we know it's got air. So we're gonna go from there. Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. Okay, it made it.
Oh, there it is.
All right.
But the top fell off.
Yep, it sure did.
You want to bang on it? The starter? And then get you a hammer?
You're doing so good too. Nothing still?
Nothing.
I'm trying hard for that.
You know what? I think that starter didn't have the Bendix engine.
No, it was. It's like it was going around and it sounded like there was an open cylinder, like a valve that was burned or stuff. Which could very well be. Because we didn't do any top lube on it, really.
Yeah, I got nothing.
We lost feel around here. That's just like janky right there. Wire got a little warm. The wire between there and there. What?
Should I change that out?
It's probably just didn't move a little. It's probably really corroding.
Okay.
Corroding and grody.
Oh, well, fantastic. It might be pouring.
Open the throttle and suck the fire.
Oh, okay. 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 Come on. Okay. I don't know if I have it wide open is killing it or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna feather it a little. Wow, I'm killing skaters.
Okay. Okay. I'm trying to be gentle.
Yeah.
Okay. Man.
I was right about it not being in park all the way. Huh?
Ah, I was hoping it'd pull fuel.
Let me feel down in there and see if it's trying yet. I don't smell gas yet. Fuel pump could be doo-doo.
Okay. Tell me when.
All right. Okay. Okay.
It took the better part of a day to oil down the pistons enough to crank them loose before we threaded in some fresh spark plugs, strapped in a new battery, and began pouring fuel down the 318's throat. Sometime in its life, the original owner had upgraded from the factory 2-barrel to a larger 4-barrel carburetor, which I can appreciate. Despite bottle feeding it plenty of starter fluid and fresh gas, we simply couldn't get the fuel pump to draw any fuel. It had to go. It took driving a couple towns over to find an Advance Auto with a fuel pump in stock, and a good flashlight to help me see what I was doing at night, but once finished, Marcia barked to life and began idling like she was parked maybe a week or two earlier. I'm still not sure if I want to get Marcia rolling as is in factory trim and eventually flip her for something else, or take a swing at building a big old cruiser for the whole family to enjoy. If you've got any suggestions, I'd love to hear them, so leave a comment in this video below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. It'll definitely help us grow the channel. And if you want even more awesome Mopar content, please visit us at www.moparconnection Magazine, where new articles are written and published every day, Monday through Friday, entirely subscription free to you.